friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to walk around the garden and show you some of my roses that are starting to bloom, and it's just so beautiful to finally see roses starting to bloom. I've been waiting for this moment for a few weeks now because it's so exciting when you start seeing roses kind of put out those buds, and it takes a while for them to put on flowers. But I am really excited today to share with you some of the roses that are opening up. I mean, they are still opening up, so it isn't like they are in their full glory yet, but it's really nice to kind of capture these first few moments with the roses when they just start to open up, because they just look so magical. So I'm going to start with this rose here. This rose here is a David Austin rose, which I do not know the name of. It was a mislabeled rose that I got. Instead of Teasing Georgia, this was the rose that was, that came to me, and I kept it and I let it grow, and it is absolutely beautiful. If you guys know the name of this rose, do let me know in comments below. But it's got this beautiful white flower, and it has this really nice pink tinge to it. So this is its third year in the garden, and I must say that for all climbing roses, it takes at least 3 years for them to come into their own and give you a good show. And I think this is the year for this rose where it's finally, I can see a lot of blooms on it. It is a gorgeous rose. It's beautiful, and it's so ethereal and magical in the garden, and I just love how this is looking today. So I wanted to show this rose to you. Again, it's a David Austin rose. It came in a David Austin container. I thought it was Teasing Georgia. That's the one I had ordered, but that's not what this is. So as you can see, it's loaded in buds, and it's looking really gorgeous in the garden. This here is another rose that's blooming. This is one of those, I think, peach drift. I think it's a peach drift rose, or it's one of those Floribunda roses from Stars Roses. So this is the one that has these beautiful clusters of peachy pink blooms, and they just keep changing colors. So some of them can be this lighter pink, as you can see here, and then some of them are more peach, and then some of them are even lighter. So this is a beautiful rose as well. It's covered in buds, and it's looking really gorgeous in the garden. I thought I would start with my backyard today because, usually, there's a lot more roses in the front yard, and they get a lot of attention from me. And it's nice for me to come out here and appreciate these backyard roses because they are just as beautiful, and I mean, I love them. They are gorgeous, and they're just starting to open, and they're looking really gorgeous. So those are the ones that are blooming in this flower bed here, but lots more to come in this bed. I have Frida Kahlo that's about to open as well, and there's another rose here that's about to open. So let's walk over on the other side and see if there's anything blooming there. Here is just Joey. It's just starting to open up, and I am in love with the way the bud is looking. I do have another one planted in the front yard, and I'm going to walk around and show you if that one is more open today, because it was opening up yesterday. So this is what the bud looks like on this one, and it's really gorgeous. But I do have a rose in there that I wanted to show you. This is Watercolor Home Run Rose, and it has just put out this most beautiful pink bloom, which is the only one that I can see from the distance. But isn't that gorgeous? It's such a beautiful single rose. It's covered in buds, so I'm excited to see what this one is going to do when it starts to open up. It's gorgeous. Here I also have climbing rose Henry Kelsey, which I planted last year. Wasn't expecting it to have that many blooms, but it is putting out beautiful vibrant, almost cherry red kind of blooms, and they actually really stand out from a distance. So it's really pretty rose as well. Just super gorgeous. It's looking really pretty just as it's opening up. I can't wait for all these buds to open and show you what it's gonna look like in its full glory. It's just starting to open and it's so exciting. Side yard garden, I do have a few roses that are starting to open. And I must first point out, I have 2 Kiss Me Kate roses here. And this one is, again, just the second season for this rose in my garden. So I don't expect it to be that prolific, but it is putting out roses and it's beautiful. It also has another bud over there, so I think it's going to continue, and another one opening there. So it's going to continue to grow, and it's really put on a lot of growth this season. So I think it's going to be covered, not covered, but it's going to give me decent amount of blooms this year. I have another one there which is putting out, it has at least 4 blooms. It's a lot more prolific than this one, but it already has 5 blooms on it, and then it has a lot more buds than this one. So let me see if I can get closer to it to give you a closer look and show it to you. But before I go there, I want to show you this rose here. This is Blaze. It has a lot of buds too. It's going to start to open up very soon as well. But I do have a rose that has opened up. I just love discovering the first few roses in the garden because they are so special when they first open and they look so gorgeous. Here is another rose. I think this is Joseph's Coat rose. It has been in my garden for I think 3 years or 4 years now, but it suffers a lot of dieback in the winter because it's not super winter hardy for me. But this year it's doing well. It's put on a lot of blooms and it's looking really good. Look at this one. I love the color on this one. So let me get closer to Kiss Me Kate and show you what this shrub is looking like. I know one of the viewers asked me how Kiss Me Kate was doing, and I said when it flushes out new growth, I will show it to you, new blooms. So look how beautiful this flower is. The buds are so elegant. It's a very beautiful rose, and I'm excited to have it in my garden. It's grown quite a bit since last year that I planted it, but nothing compared to Florentina. I mean, Florentina is reaching for the stars already, and it has lots of buds. So I'm excited when that one opens, and I'll show it to you when that opens. But it is gorgeous. On a side note, I do have a bloom on Viva Paulina clematis, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, let's walk in the front yard now and see. There's a lot more roses there that are open, and I'll show you what's open there. At the foxgloves that are open here, I mean, they are just beautiful. These are super cute. I love the color, and they're dainty, and they look really nice with these beautiful yellow iris which is still blooming. It's just gorgeous how this looks. I love foxgloves and how they add so much charm and beauty to the garden with this vertical kind of spiky blooms. Oh, here's another rose that's blooming. So this is Heritage Rose by David Austin. This is put out its first bloom today, and it's really beautiful. Look how beautiful this rose is. It's just gorgeous. I planted this rose last year as well, and it's looking really pretty. I love how it's looking with the color of the foxglove and the iris. It's just beautiful. I love this rose. It's super gorgeous. Okay, let's go in the front yard and see what's blooming. I'm going to start from this side. This is a Leander rose. It has lots of buds, nothing open yet, but can't wait for it to open. I do have some blooms in the back there that are open. This is supposedly Gertrude Jekyll, but I think from everything that I have seen about this rose, it doesn't look like Gertrude Jekyll to me. It's much lighter than the pictures I've seen. So I am not sure what rose this is, but this is also an English rose. I bought it as Gertrude Jekyll, and I think it's third year in the garden. So this year it's really coming into its own, has a lot of buds. Let me move closer to it. I'll give you a closer look at this rose. Here is a closer look at this rose. For those of you who have Gertrude Jekyll, let me know if you think this is Gertrude Jekyll. I don't think it is, but that's what I bought. But it is a gorgeous rose. It's just opening up, and it's got these heavy petal count, and it's absolutely stunning. This is what the rose buds look like. They have a beautiful salmon pink, a little bit of yellow. Even when the flower opens, it has a slight yellow in it. So it's really, really pretty. Love it. I love all the blooms on this. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait for this to all open. It's absolutely stunning. And I love how it looks with the catman. It looks really, really pretty. Show you this bud on the Rainbow Niagara Rose. So this is one bud from the Rainbow Niagara Rose. This is a beautiful, almost like a sunset kind of sorbet looking rose, and I can't wait for it to open. This is the 3rd year in my garden, and I think this year is going to be its year where it's actually going to give me a lot more blooms, because last year it didn't really do much. Last year wasn't such a great year for roses because we had a really severe winter. A lot of things died back and took a while for them to kind of flush back. But this year, I think they are going to be doing well. Here's a bud on a Rosanna climbing rose, and it's also beautiful. This is a beautiful salmon pink color as well, and it's going to be a beautiful rose as well when it opens. So let's walk over on the other side and see what else is blooming. Here is Peach Perfection. Just look at its bud. It's so gorgeous. I love the bud stages of a rose just as much as the rose itself. It's just adds so much charm to the rose shrub. And here is a one that has been blooming now for a week almost, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous rose. This is Peach Perfection. I love how ruffly it is, how beautiful this rose is, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So those are the roses. Lots more to come on this side. That one there is Rosie the Riveter. It's covered in buds, and I can't wait to show you when that blooms. But this here is my Tranquility Rose by David Austin. I planted it last year, and this is its 2nd year in the garden. Lots and lots of buds, lots more to come. But I wanted to show you what the buds look like. The buds have a slight pink tinge to them, and then even as they open, they do have a slight pink to them, and then they open. I don't have one that's fully open, but this one is a little bit bigger than the other one. So this is kind of coming into its own as well. And my Shropshire Lad roses have grown really, really tall, but they have a few buds on them, and I have to actually tie them to the trellis, but I'm just waiting for them to kind of bloom and enjoy their blooms, and then I'm going to tie them back. But I do have a few blooms on this side, so it has bloomed, already started to bloom. And yeah, it's a beautiful soft peachy pink colored rose. Again, more apricot tones. As you can tell, I really love those tones in the garden. And then the rose here is Moody Blue. It has also put out its first bloom. I mean, this rose is absolutely stunning. I love, love, love this rose. I planted 2 of these in this garden last year, and they have continued to wow me. They bloomed beautifully last year, more later in the season because they were just planted, but they were amazing. They have these really huge blooms that stay on for quite some time on the plant, and they look gorgeous. So those are the blooms. I can't wait for this plant to start blooming. Here's another look at Shropshire Lad. It is blooming, and it's beautiful. It's soft and it's beautiful. This rose here is another white rose. It's called Rosa Marie. So this one is quite big and prolific, and it's got a beautiful creamy white bloom, and the buds are more salmon pink, and then they open and they are gorgeous and white. Oof. Yeah, they're beautiful. So over here what I have is a real burst of color. This is where the color is beginning. So let me just show you what's happening here. So this is my Munstead Wood. It has put out quite a few blooms. Look at how beautiful this color is. It is more of a magenta pink for me. The pictures I've seen show it more as a maroon, but it is very, very magenta pink, and as it ages it gets a little bit darker than this. It'll get more maroonish as it ages, but when it first opens, it is this beautiful magenta pink color. It's just beautiful. This one is like coated in buds, and it's really, really beautiful. So the one next to it is Grace. I have two Grace shrubs. One is in the back there. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it has lots and lots of buds, so I can't wait. So this is Grace, and I must tell you, I love Grace. She is so beautiful in the garden. Beautiful roughly blooms, and they are more apricot. Beautiful. I mean, the flower is really, really unique on these. The buds are beautiful. It's loaded in buds, and it looks really, really lovely with the Munstead Wood. This combination I really, really love, and it's looking really beautiful in the garden. It's got lots of buds on it, and I can't wait for this Grace to kind of fill in and open up all those buds. It's gonna look gorgeous. So here is my knockout rose. I think this is I think this is also Easy rose, and I have two of them, one here and one here. So these are just starting to open up, and they look really nice and vibrant. These are the standard landscape roses. These were one of the first roses that I had, and I've since fallen in love with a lot of roses, and they just look so beautiful in the garden. So here's a look when I step away from it, how this is starting to kind of color and look, and it is absolutely stunning. Especially with all the salvia and the pinks, this looks really, really beautiful. And here is my coral charm peony. It's kind of in its various stages of bloom, and I love it. It really complements the roses. This is one, it changes color as it ages, so this is more of an aged flower, what it looks like, and then it's more of this lighter pink before it gets to this color, and then when it's, you know, just opening, it's much darker. So this is a beautiful peony, coral charm. It's just a herbaceous peony. It's not Ito, but it's just beautiful. It's got stronger stems, and I really haven't supported it, so it's doing well. And it hasn't rained here, so which is why the peony blooms have lasted quite a bit of time here. So again, just absolutely gorgeous. And before I move on, I wanted to show you this Allium schubertii. It's a lot more open today, and it's a beautiful firework in the garden. It's just gorgeous. Here I have a Ringo Rose. This is all-star Ringo. This is the peach. We're a peach and pink one. Lots of pollinators love this rose because it's open and it's got that beautiful center that the pollinators absolutely love. And it's just a beautiful, colorful rose, ever-changing colors in the garden. And over there I do have an Atlas rose, which is just starting to open. Let me walk over and show you. So this is kind of like my proven winners rose collection, the colors that I love. I have Atlas rose and I have the Ringo roses in here. I just love them. This is so beautiful, the Atlas rose. It's got a beautiful color, beautiful scent, really nice landscape rose to have in your garden if you like that color. It's really, really beautiful, and it's just starting to open right now. And here is my Boscobel rose. This is another David Austin rose. It is also a stunner. This is the first year in my garden. I just planted it about a month ago, and I'm amazed at the amount of blooms it already has. So it just tells me how beautiful this is going to be in the years to come. So just love all the stages of this rose, the colors, everything is so beautiful about this rose. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Love it. So let me just step back a little bit so you can see what I'm seeing, and it's gorgeous. So anyways, there's one more rose. I think there's a Just Joey on the other side that's blooming. Let me show you what the blooms look like for that rose. But here's another look at the garden as I walk by. These are all my roses that I just showed you, and they are absolutely stunning in the garden today. Just gorgeous. So I'm gonna end with this beautiful, stunning rose. This is Just Joey. Look how beautiful and how big this bloom is. It is at least 5 inches and it is absolutely stunning. So this is a rose that I just added to my garden this spring, and it is a beauty. Sorry, I've been like trying to stop from sneezing and scratchy throat because we've had this really bad smog here in Toronto due to the forest fires, and the weather, the air quality has been really bad. So I excuse me if I am sounding a little bit muffled or if I've had to clear my throat in between recording this video, but it's been really bad. So I've been trying to come out here in the morning to do some gardening and to make this video for you so that I can show you and capture the stages of these roses, because you know, like, this time will pass and this very new you know, moment in the roses is so fleeting that I wanted to come in and capture this, how they look the very first moment that they're starting to bloom. So this, again, like I was saying, is Just Joey. I just planted this season, and it is absolutely a beautiful color, beautiful rose, and beautiful scent. I mean, it is a gorgeous rose. So I have one more in the backyard that I planted, and that one is in bud stage, but this one here is open and it is beautiful. Like, it is absolutely stunning. Love this rose, and I just wanted to show this to you. So thank you so much today for joining me on a tour of all my roses that are just starting to open up, and I am very excited, like a little child walking around seeing what's popping up. And you know, it's really exciting. Rose is one of my favorite blooms in the garden, and I just love it when they bloom. They just have this presence in the garden like no other. So and yes, they are a lot of work. They do require maintenance, but I gladly do it because I love this part. When I get to this stage, it makes it all worth it. So thanks again so much for watching this video, and do let me know what your favorite roses are, and if you grow them, which ones do you have? Do you have any of the ones that I've just shown you? And you know, do let me know. And it's lovely to have you all on my channel. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for joining me, and I hope to catch you in my next video.